Hello? Why, hello there. Yes. Oh, just a second. I think we're gonna be fine now. I was trying to fix my microphone. It had a little bit of a electrical feedback going on there. But ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it is with great pleasure that I welcome all of you back onto the broadcast. I hope you're all doing well. It is Saturday afternoon, East Coast, 4 p.m., baby. And we have our second cup of caffeine to enjoy and soak in that lovely Final Fantasy XIV storyline that we're about to continue. That's right, we're going to be continuing our journey in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. One of them, I've heard a lot of great things about it. Supposedly, it's even a step up to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers in terms of the quality of the storyline writing. So I'm ready to be impressed. But I would like to say that Shadowbringers was the best expansion for me, personally, thus far. So I'm open to be blown away, to be amazed, emotional, in awe, and enthralled by the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker experience. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and log our asses back into Excalibur, our server of choice that we've been playing on for years now. For anyone watching this stream for the very first time, I just finally got back to the game after not playing it for 2 years. Believe it or not, I hadn't played it for that long, but that's mostly because I've been very committed to playing Overwatch on stream, and I played a number of MMOs growing up. I'm 31, by the way, for reference, but I played a wide variety of MMORPG titles, from MapleStory, World of Warcraft, EVE Online, Terra Online, WildStar, which doesn't exist anymore, sadly. Played a little bit of Lord of the Rings Online. So I've had my fair share of MMO experience. And MMOs, I can tell you, are a huge time sink. And as someone who is 31, I have responsibilities to attend to, so I can't be playing video games all day. I would like to do it for a living, but that is not my current reality, sadly. That being said, I'm very happy that I'm getting back to this game at the right time. I've been kind of taking a bit of a break from Overwatch 2, as it's being contended by Marvel Rivals, which has taken the Overwatch scene by storm. So I think it's the right time for me to kind of, take a little bit of a step back from one of my favorite games. Overwatch has a special place in my journey. But so do a lot of other games like Journey and World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV as well. Anytime I listen to the Final Fantasy XIV soundtrack, I am just on the verge of wanting to cry because it evokes emotion so well. And I'm not, the one thing that I will say is I'm not a big fan of leitmotifs in music being used over and over and over. And Final Fantasy music has a tendency to do that. But when you hear enough variety in the soundtrack, and when you listen to certain soundtracks of Final Fantasy XIV, you're immediately recalled to think about the premise and the themes of the game, certain overwhelming moments. Final Fantasy XIV is a game like no other, and I would recommend, if you're looking for the best story experience, okay, although it is a massive multiplayer online game and you're encouraged to eventually play with other players, if you're looking for storyline in any video game, period, you must play Final Fantasy XIV. Okay, if you like to take your time to, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to be rushed into a video game storyline, definitely give the game a try. You will not regret it. Having said that, I hope that we're eventually going to get a Final Fantasy XIV movie production along the way. Video game production, yeah? Because, I don't know. I feel like that would do well. Yeah, if we had a full-on Final Fantasy XIV movie, that would be amazing. That's something we don't have enough of in the current 21st century, is video game movies. I mean, they do adaptations of things like Mario. We have Detective Pikachu, things like, you know, the Arcane League of Legends series, but... And then we had the live-action World of Warcraft movie, which didn't do all that well, reception-wise. So I'm hoping that if we do eventually get a Final Fantasy XIV movie, then I'm hoping that it'll be animated and not, you know, live-actioned, if that makes sense. Because there's so much fantasy involved. It's a very high fantasy world, and to replicate all of that in real life form would be a little bit odd. It'd be jarring, I think. Would it be impossible? No. Would there be a lot of CGI used? Heavily. And I'm not like, I strongly believe that real props are always going to be better than CGI. And it's always nice. It's nice to see real craftsmanship put into producing special effects and you know, movements of monsters and whatnot. Like, the technical aspect, the real engineering is what's really fascinating versus the over-reliance on CGI to produce something that's glaringly artificial. You see it, you feel it. It's not the same. And unfortunately, with AI on the rise, oh no, I'm a little bit worried. So, I don't know, we need more things like claymation. Claymation is great. Like, look at, I don't know if you guys have seen this Netflix original, but it's called Pokemon, what's it called now, dang it? Pokemon Concierge. Fantastic little mini series, all handmade. That's the kind of stuff that we need to see more of in Hollywood, as far as like fictional adaptations of video game universes and whatnot. Less of the live action, more of the animated stuff, like animated and hand drawn, like at Studio Ghibli, anime art. Make more of that. I'm sure people would be very like, but I think the marketing strategy around live action is mostly to do with hiring known names, right? Let's throw in some popular actors in there and sell the movie like hotcakes. That's the strategy. And it's unfortunate that craftsmanship, like, fame shouldn't have to be the determining factor in the quality of the movie. Yeah, sure. Okay, I get it. Like, an actor might be famous for being exceptionally well, like for playing and performing at a high level. But to have the same actors being casted left and right and left and right, you ruin the room for variety. And there are so many amazing human beings on this earth, and it's such a disservice to the beauty of artistry and culture to single out other people that might have been more fitting of the role than, let's say, Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, etc. I get it. These people love their job. You know, they want to provide the best performance. But give others a chance, goddammit. Anywho, I'm gonna stop my rant. We're just gonna go ahead and enjoy the game for the time being. All right, so there's a bit of a server queue right now. All right, all in due time. Patience is the name of the game. But I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for hanging out, for tuning in thus far. It is Saturday. Today I worked out. What was my focus of the day? I worked out my chest and biceps. That was the workout of the day. It lasted me about an hour and 45 minutes. Mainly because I like to incorporate a lot, some additional fluff in there. Fluff, I mean like non-core related exercise. Like I'll do some kettlebell stuff at the end. And some pull-ups, usually. Just at the end of every workout. To sort of like maintain my endurance and, you know, add a little bit of cardio in there too with the kettlebell work. All right. Just a second, guys. I'm just going to upload one more thing on a social media platform that I have. And then we'll get going with the Final Fantasy XIV playthrough. Give me a moment. All right. So, back to business. We had coffee with Alize. I'm having coffee again. We have a sip. A labyrinthine descent. Hello, not pro gamer 3. That's a name. That's one hell of a choice for a name. You're not a pro gamer, but you're a gamer regardless, and you like video games. Thank you for passing by. Welcome to the broadcast. Hope you're enjoying your time on here thus far. You're right on time. We're about to continue the Final Fantasy XIV main storyline quests with this quest over here. A labyrinthine descent. Alize is excited to share your revelations. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead to Numenon, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. Master Dickon. What a dick. He wants his damn cups. Coffee cups. Alright, we gotta bring back the Starbucks mugs back. It's fine. Gotta be responsible. Well, if it isn't our serving staff's honorary member, if you ever grow tired of the whole adventuring thing, I'd be happy to offer you a job waiting tables. Yeah, well, I'm a frog. Frogs don't do that. Rabbit. 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 All right. I don't feel like waiting tables, mate. I'm kind of busy saving the world here. It's on the brink of the doom. God, this place is beautiful in the daylight. In broad daylight or under the night sky. The starlit night sky. Whoa, someone's ready to partay. Yo, dude, what's going on, dude? I'm a surfer, dude. I'm also a cat man, dude. Blech.
Welcome back, Valkyria. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners.
Well, you see, this person over there did a thing and they told us that we were a bunch of stinky poo-poo heads.
Ah, it makes sense that you're a stinky poo-poo head. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo. It certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Ishtola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Valkyria and Alizé learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlayans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telephoroi is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw it fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secret events. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions.
Oh, sorry. My thing spazzed out. What should we expect down there? Tell me.
Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each has returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. I'm great. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is.
Ribbit, 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 ribbit. All right, let's make our way over there. Oh, hey, hey,
Way!
hey, fuck me. God dang it.
Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close.
Follow Alizé and try not to fall behind.
Off we go then.
Alizé sets off a brisk walk. That's a brisk walk? What? It's more like a leisurely walk. This is a, like, okay. I don't know what kind of...
It's pleasant here amongst the trees. It's very pleasant, but we really should move along.
Well, guess what? My brisk walk is faster than yours, ma'am. You're falling behind on my elegant swag. Everybody do the...
Over this way. Over this way. Okay, fuck. Wait for me, Alize. Over this way. Now we run. Trying to keep up. What? Oh, now you want to run? Well, guess what? I run faster than you do. Ha 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 ha. Look at me. Wow. I'm so fast. We crossed the bridge. No, I'm going to push you down. I'm going to push you down this bridge. Fuck it. I'm going to commit murder. Nobody's going to know. I'll just say that you fell and tripped. Up here. Up here. But, okay.
Let's go, miss. Let's head our way upstairs. Oh my god, what a view.
The rostra. Not far now. Oh, snap.
Snap-a-doodle. Snap-a-snap-a-doodle. Hey. Snap-a-doodle. Snap-a-snap-a-doodle. Hoppity hop.
Here we are. Through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving.
Yeah, I think I did.
Let me remember. Yeah, I did. Okay.
I guess we're gonna go down, yeah? Down the rostra we go. Oh, frick. Oh, hello. Who are you? Matilde.
You knew? It'll take me a while to check all these, so you go on ahead.
Uh-huh.
Hello, hello. Chocobo keep.
Guy's wearing it.
It's a late. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a chocobo porter? Do not tell me. This is your first visit to this stop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future.
Wow, rude.
Hello.
Nilazona.
I am sorry, madam, but the lift is presently out of service. I apologize for the inconvenience.
Well, Charlene.
Welcome to the Hall of Artifice. Should you be looking to descend to Labyrinthos, the lift here will take you there. How did the Forum learn of the final days? And exactly how much do they know? More to the point, what do they intend to do about it? Hopefully the answer to at least one of those questions lies below. I've not been to Labyrinthos in the longest time. Even as a student, my visits were here and far between. You didn't take the wrong turn in the rostra there, did you? I doubt the Forum would take kindly to you barging into a private session. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone, onto the lift and down we go.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves, and this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Hi, Aralia. Welcome
Not
back.
what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Anyone got an Advil? I've got a headache. Ugh.
Did you call to me just now? No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
The Path of Artifice. Okay,
Excuse me, are you a gleaner? If you don't mind, I have some questions to ask. You here to help or give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose.
your exchange with Erenville has taught you about exhausted gleaners.
Let me think. The reseeds should be item 1058, cumin seeds 1059, snurble 1060. But were these 1061? My head feels like it's stuffed with moko grass. Why more loads to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Coerthan carrots for the Gurabanian carrots? What then?
Your exchange with Teeb has taught you about large shipments coming in and out of Labyrinthos.
Most of those gathered here appear to be gleaners. Why don't you wander around and try making small talk? Book.
Dobbin. Are we dabbing? You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos, you know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Damn if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion. Your exchange with Dubbin has taught you about taking stock in Labyrinthos.
Has anyone else delivered anything? Is that meant in jest? Are you fucking kidding me? Any luck, Valkyria? What tales did the gleaners have to tell? So, this grand operation began without warning? And for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else? That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right. The Forum is definitely up to something. And they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process.
Glorified rat catcher. Kryl appears lost in thought.
We would do well to learn more of what, specifically, the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game, Valkyria, I have an idea.
The best? I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know. Like, a lot of them, I mean, like, there's a great amount of variety. I'm not sure. I like Ishtola. Justinian also. I don't know. I mean, there's so many great voices in this game. I'm honestly be hard to answer. Hey, Jenna! Oh, thank you so much for popping in. I am enjoying it quite a bit. You're wrapped up in work. Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard now, ma'am. I raise my coffee to you. Really? That's awesome. Huh.
Did one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, you might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting.
Ah, you met through For the Biscuit. So wait, is that a player that's named for the biscuit in honor of Total Biscuit? I'm wondering now. I only wonder. Oh.
You wish to help me find the marmots? I've nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. The name is Erenville, friend. Specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Noxian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in the sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot. Or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck.
Right, let's go to the nearest McDonald's. What is that? What is this? The fuck? Never mind. Okay, I guess we're not gonna mess with that for now. Nope.
Got to look for grizzled mice. Hello. You sense a hostile presence. A coyote? Oh, frick.
Gaius, Estinian, and Lise. Oh yeah, I forgot about Gaius. With, you know, how like they have the sound effect of him speaking through the helmet. Yeah. I was gonna say Urianger as well. I don't know if I already mentioned him. Honestly, I was gonna say, I feel like Alizé's voice acting is really good, actually. They did a good job of capturing her hot-headedness, I guess, but in such a healthy way that it's not overdone and overplayed, right? Barely have you readied the sack when the grizzled mouse scampers off into the underbrush. Beth and Walker.
I'll have to check it out. Oh man.
Gaius just gravels in your ear and you swoon. Ah, yes. Sure, boy, do I love gravel in my ear holes, brother. Oh, gives me the tingles. Oh, this is new music that I haven't heard. Oh, nighttime Labyrinthos. Ooh, it's so gentle. It's so fine. Oh, my Lanta. Happy little frog passing through the forests. Oh, this music makes me want to twerk. A little bit. A little bit. I'll see you around, Jenna. Best of luck. Have a good rest of the workday. Yeah. It takes a specific kind of man to hit my eyes and heart, and Gaius just strikes me as a man who wants to be right. Uh-huh. Yeah, it takes a specific kind of man to hit your eyes, kind of like how Chris Brown hit Rihanna in the eyes, right? Oh! We don't stand physical abuse. It's not okay. I know you meant figuratively, but I was trying to crack a joke. Yeah. I was trying to crack a joke. All right. Got our first aetheryte in Labyrinthos. What a pretty area. It's kind of magical, isn't it? The fact that it's an artificially underground biome is pretty cool. Makes me think of the potential that we could have in the 21st century with this polluted earth that we live on. More enemies have joined the fray. Squeak, 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 rat sack. Get in here. You son of a bitch. The rodent nimbly evades your grasp before once more disappearing into the trees. Oh, frick. Alright, let's get on my lightning pony then. Pony of light. Pony of thunder. If the Scions had 3 artists in their playlist, my choice for Thancred would be unironic Adam Levine fan Drake and Olivia Rodrigo. No, I don't know. Thancred would not. Get out of here with that. There's no way. Nuh-uh. Mm-mm. At least, I think maybe we should assign music genres. Which one are you objecting to? All 3! All 3 of those, what? How do we... Okay, I guess we gotta go up there. Hold on. You know what? Okay, so here's an idea. Let's assign music that the characters, music types the characters would listen to. Like, for example, Tataru would be Lo-fi pop. Okay? Lo-fi pop for Tataru. Urianger would be probably classical music. Ishtola... Ishtola could be... either goth, like Evanescence music, or I don't know, maybe Psytrance, I'm not sure. What? What are you on about? Drakus is fuckboy days and limbs. Started from the bottom, now we're a Scions. More prepared for its speed this time. You succeed in closing the sack over your elusive quarry. How did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. Ah, there's the odd marmot out. Wait here for a moment while I put our friends into a holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? Why, the authority in charge of Labyrinthos, now and in perpetuity. The same officials who've had us working day and night of late. The honorable members of the Forum. Who else? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed,
Those were the two conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to produce or procure. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Valkyria. Is this the cleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Interesting company you keep, my friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Kryl of the students of Baldesion. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decision of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hope that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty course. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more of your services, Goodbye. Stola would listen to Missy Elliott, Gwen Stefani on the Doors. That's quite an eclectic pop selection. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered that when the operation was begun, the Forum contacted the Gleaners' guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Telephoroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus, am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telephoroi's declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower... Kryl, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. I had a bit of an anime flashback for a moment. A sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Anyone have an Advil to pop? Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. Archeon. We follow the path east through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Ah, yes, the internet trolls.
My Chemical Romance for Urianger. No. No, wait. No, it has to be... Urianger... Wait, hold on. What is that one band called? Toriyamos. Actually, maybe Alize maybe listens to Nirvana. How about that? Yeah? Avril Lavigne. Nicki Minaj. What? Now I'm having the image of Stola walking around with B A B bananas B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Everybody but a who that track, but a beetle dude about a beetle that track. I ain't no holla back girl. I ain't no
Behold, the Archaon. As Numenon serves as Charlane's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture too is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaon contains a physical history of Charlane's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge.
Deeper into the maze. Alphanord is gazing into the Archaon with an appraising look.
Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian.
Alphanord. Eminem? Really? Him? Black Eyed Peas?
I'm switching out materials that have been reclassified, but it seems some have been imbued with protective charms to prevent theft. I'll have to be careful. The lift is unavailable for general use at this time. We apologize for the inconvenience. Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archaon's vaults.
Peruse? You are clearly not gleaners, then. Might I ask your affiliation?
We belong to the students of Baldesion, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public, at least were open to the public.
Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter.
Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that?
That service has also been suspended, I am afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory.
What? So this is as far as we can go?
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded.
By that time, it will be too late. We were so close to getting answers.
We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for the moment, shall we? Oh, did it? Fuck. Thank you for letting me know. Why? Why did I do that? Okay, I fixed it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Students of Baldesion.
We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. It is likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Dum dum dum.
Yes. Can I help you?
What do you do here?
I'm an archivist at the Archion. I inspect all that is sent here to be stored and judge the threat they may pose. From cursed relics to disease-bearing creatures, we house some extremely hazardous materials. Such specimens must be kept securely sealed.
What kind of place is this?
This is the Archion, a structure built for the purpose of safely and securely housing all manner of specimens, both animate and inanimate. Together with the literary archive of Numenon, it houses much of the Charlane's gathered knowledge, a veritable treasure trove of mankind's accumulated wisdom.
Thank you. Square grapes? What? Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us in into the Archion even though we found. Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere, but it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oddest little squeal, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archion is open again. Boom, 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 boom. Gemstone Trader. In the market for something on the rarer side. Got a whole village's worth of surplus from the Archion, some of which can be even yours for some bicolor gemstones. You now have access to this region's gemstone exchange. Trade bicolor gemstones for a variety of rare and exclusive items. Successfully completing local fates will allow for the safe delivery of goods in the region, increasing the number of items available for exchange. Oh, I had some leftover. Oh shit, son. I had like 427 of them. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's a random pirogue. Oh, it's my friend. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Bob. Come back. Where you going? He just disappeared. Bob? Bob! Where are you? Oh, shit. Bobby boy. What's that? Take you down on the lift with me. Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out to the gate out here, though, shouldering a large pack, engaging in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever he's doing.
Okay. Ooh. Oh. Hmm.
Quiet. You'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is close. Very close. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. Effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one.
Search your surroundings for the hornbill. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target the hornbill and use the blowgun with mouse. Oh, oh shit. Whoops. Rotate camera. The fuck? Large red bird. Caw. Caw. If the wrong bird is sedated. Is it this one? No. You have sedated the wrong bird. Fail. Fuck. Epic fail. Took a break from Final Fantasy XIV to play World of Warcraft, and it felt nice having different buttons to press. I've been considering getting back into WoW, Aurelia, but like there's only so much time in a given day, so I gotta stick with one MMO at a time for now. Side note, I'm also gonna be featured in a couple months ago I recorded some voice acting lines for this World of Warcraft machinima that I'm going to be featured in as a I'm not a main character in there. I'm one of the like momentarily featured side characters, but it's basically a Death Knight machinima, and the first episode of it came out 2 years ago, and it's finally going to be coming out, I think, soonish, because I recorded those voice acting lines back in October, and we're already in January, so yeah, I don't know. Kind of hoping I can't wait to see myself in there. Basically, I voiced a dwarf, but yeah, I want to get back into. I do want to get back into some World of Warcraft eventually with Chris Metzen now back with developing the game, and you know, being in charge of writing those, like creating the storyline for the next few expansions. Really gets me excited for the future of WoW. WoW is kind of like right now on its mellow side in popularity. Well, I mean, there's some handful of people still playing it for a large audience, but I do want to get back into it at some point in the future. I grew up with World of Warcraft. Started playing it at age 13. That was my first. That was the longest MMO that I've been played. Final Fantasy XIV being the second one. Is it this one? Whack whack. Come on. Whack whack. I'm having a hard time sedating this bird. There you go. Okay, I guess I just had to... No! What? Steve Denuser was handed terrible parts of a story and didn't connect them well. Wait, Steve Denuser is what, a voice actor or the writer of the story? Confused. Yeah. Hit the right bird with the dart. Lead narrative writer. Okay, gotcha. I stopped playing WoW in Shadowlands, and I didn't play the whole like, I stopped after Castle Nathria, I think, yeah? So I hadn't played any post-launch, like much of the post-launch stuff.
A fair shot.
Oh, he's got voice acting.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
Wait, what is this accent? What is that supposed to be, like a European accent? The hell? I'll show you in a moment, Aurelia.
There you are. Any new revelations?
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties.
Okay, that makes sense. Sounds like an Icelandic person. Or from Norway, maybe. Ari Orskarsson. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats. At first I thought it was Latino accent, but it is not.
But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
Harry
Potter and the secret chambers of Azkaban Gangbang. Where all the scientists are jerking off over some genius work. Oh my god, I found the formula.
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation.
I wasn't afforded an explanation. Possibly.
But Judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues,
Requisition?
I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels.
Duh.
And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse,
Dungeon
it should
unlock?
provide access to the medial circuit below.
Question mark.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Good day, bunny person. Icelandic
Turning back is
bunny.
hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this.
He
mine
just
shaft.
randomly leaves, never to be heard of his voice acting again. Goodbye, Ironville. We'll see you in Endgame Daily Quest of patch 6.6 or some shit, where we have to do dailies down here. I don't, for like endgame weapon crafting. No. It's nice that though that they had a voice acted him. That's nice. That's nice. Ba 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 da ba 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 da. Ba 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 ba. And some of the questing experience in WoW has freshed me up on ways FF14 could implement tasking and talking at the same time. What do you mean by that?
This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures honed here by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue.
the medial circuit. Alizé seems eager to get underway.
Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel.
Instead of that 5-minute conversation, it can be shortened and turned into a task to do while the talking is happening. Maybe. But I mean, a lot of how the game is presented in Final Fantasy XIV is in cutscenes, right? So it's kind of like the standard format. I don't know. Yeah, but I guess that could have been... Yeah, maybe they could have, like, kept the voice acting, but have... I don't know. But you're having a conversation. It's not like you just want to leave that, right? You shouldn't be allowed to just waltz out of it. I mean, well, I guess maybe if you're a player that doesn't care about the story that much, like, yeah, okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong about that. Give the player the choice, maybe. I mean, you could literally just press escape and skip that altogether. If you really don't care. Smaller things like sit and wait for mobs to appear. Yeah, I guess. But I think it's also to do with like the pace of the game, you know, considering that the combat feels different too. Right? In WoW, abilities happen right away. Whereas in Final Fantasy XIV, everything's limited to like a lot of abilities are sharing a global cooldown. And there's a bit of a like an animation window. Different speeds, I guess. Different paces of game progression. Performances of abilities. It's just how Final Fantasy XIV is designed inherently. Dun, 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 dun. Things that pad out the gameplay that irked you over a year ago. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, Final Fantasy XIV, again, has been this way for years now, so I don't think that that's gonna change. Unless, I don't know. No.
Everyone seems to have made it through without incident. Nothing of consequence, at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Erenville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see.
Square grapes. I mean, they're not that square. I don't know.
Aha! Now I know where we are. This is the Merial Agronomics. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Food so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. It is possible they know something of the forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for useful clues. The gourds we grow here are something of an agricultural wonder. We've crossbred varieties from all across the realm to create pumpkins that are sweet, sizable, and rich in nutrients. A field full of ripe vegetables being left to rot on the vine. Not a single picker hard at work. Clearly, procuring readily available fresh food is not the forum's priority. No two corners of the world cultivate the land in the same way. My research involves poring over the many texts gathered by the gleaners to produce something altogether greater than the sum of its parts. And so you've spent years researching these high-yield cultivation techniques?
For many years, I have poured my energy. Listen to me, frogman. For many years, I have poured my energies into developing more bountiful crops. My life's goal is to produce a seed from which both a popoto and tomato will grow. Ah, a man can dream.
What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modelled, a region in the south of Ilsabard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperature plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. Used to be called Corvus, before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amonis. The Forum, so it note, has a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one of whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. Okay.
Got it.
I am from the studium, here to gain practical knowledge of how to cultivate fungi. Being in the outdoors does have its advantages over those stuffy stacks of books. Looks like there's no more fruit fertilizer. I'm told this cart holds the harvest beans for the larders here. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors. Not with the use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? The mine shaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the Forum has us filling order lists of long, massive yet detailed requests. Literal wagon loads of crop samples and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Right.
Oh, it's not often you meet someone here who so obviously doesn't belong. Can I help you with something?
Tell me about yourself.
For now, at least, I'm the second most important person in this facility. Now, you may think I'm shirking my duties, but even at this very moment, I'm envisioning how we can improve our methods. Gazing upon this water mill calms my heart and clears my mind of unnecessary thoughts, leaving room only for brilliant ideas. Even so, inspiration takes time. Today, it seems to be slower in the coming than usual. Mariel Agronomics is where the finest agricultural minds gather to research plant specimens from around the realm and the methods by which to cultivate them. The plants grown here are also used to feed the people working in Labyrinthos. Straight from our fields to their tables. Fresh as fresh can be.
Okay. Okay.
Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates atop that hill over there. Gods, hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half.
The stack of crates on the hill is going below. That sounds promising. I'll gather the others and join you there. Oh. Oh, frick. The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports. Sheaves, huh? That's a word that I need to add to my vernacular. Sheaves. Oh, sheaves. What?
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Who the fuck are you, sir? You just randomly came up to me to drop some knowledge bombs.
Have you learned aught of interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we've failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Arcane? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all... Cryo?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Zoom in on the mouth. Whoa, whoa, what the hell? Someone has some... Wait, is this Fallout? What is it? Fall Guys? Is that supposed to be a Fall Guys sweater? The hell? It has some swag. And he's got a little dino pet. Cute.
Is Kryl still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away.
The full report, warts and all. Alize is not about to let Erenville out of her sight.
Arenville was headed westwards along the path outside the Archaon. Come, we can still catch him. Hold a moment. I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. Aye, if I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Arenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Goodness! Psst. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, it will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Arenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment.
But I'm already a frog, ma'am. What?
What am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form, you are essentially defenseless.
You have changed into a toad. You must remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objectives. You will return from your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguration's area of effect. Speak with the Stola to restore or prolong the transfiguration. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Alpha Toad and Alatoad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area or by speaking with them and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have your companions join you again, return and speak with them at the original location. I'm a toad. Oh shit. It's a mean toad up ahead. Gotta be careful. Gotta circle around. My friends, my toad friends. Hippity hoppity. Skibbity boop, skibbity. Did we do the skibbity? Let's do the skibbity. You discover a new location. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Talk. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Alpha Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand that he's telling you this is the wrong way. Ribbit! 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 Alatoad turns to face the north. Perhaps she is suggesting you cross the bridge. The north, eh? Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, that bridge up there? What do they mean by, oh, up north? That one over there? I guess we'll have to... Actually, we gotta be careful. We can't aggro anything right now. Have to be careful. Can't be careful. I like the little tippity tap sounds as we hop around about. Very soothing ASMR. Webbed toad feet sound. Okay. Gonna scoot over here. Ribbit. Lego.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Where you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us and all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty the forum agent mentioned. Charlene has been called to action, and the Teleferoi's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos. Not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid.
A guide of sorts. Alizé is staring off in the direction Erenville departed, a thoughtful look on her face.
What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all of its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we will learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Kryl for the moment, see what they think of this.
Alrighty, let's head back. Lego.
Boom, 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 boom.
Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then? Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kryl, then discuss how we'd like to proceed, assuming we find her back at the farm. She was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas just in case she decided to wander.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead. Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That gloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts. That unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, Our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
It is not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Grah! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. loose in our city. These warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age-long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the Studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? Now, if we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlian. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Well, dang. Oh, look at that view, though. Isn't that marvelous? Dusk over here. You can see the moon. What does this person have to say? Oh. Oh, you can go inside. Look at that. The rostra. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city. And our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn more of substance here in Charlayan. The state visitor. Alize has a look of dissatisfaction. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. His father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alphinaud! Alphinaud? Alize! It is you! Oh. When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother? Emilian Slaveyeux at your service. And you fine people must be the scions of the 7th Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you were here... Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I'm well aware that you and Master Faucheneau are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come to my house, by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go, visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure we... Valkyria, what do you think? Valkyria. The Valkyria Luthgard? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. But we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Valkyria, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone. And with her any opportunity to protest,
Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three.
Oh.
I apologize. My mother's not one to take no for an answer. Still, I'm glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Valkyria? Though it would seem we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on visiting our home?
Fine. If we're going, then let's get this over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers. Thank you very much.
Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy.
Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away, childhood toys. I mean, God, never mind. The level of your state is that way, straight down the stairs. Come on. Alphinaud and Alizé are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. Oh, I'll be right back. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area, or by speaking with them and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have your companions join you again, return and speak with them at the original location. Right. Right, let's go to the Levier estate. Talk.
After all we've been through together, 'tis strange to be here with you now. To come full circle and see how much has changed. The Levier estate is the northern part of Journey's End, just down the stairs from the rostra. Oh, and please don't make a fuss when we get there. It's only a house. When Alizé and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother, or a servant, was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. As children, Alphinaud and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at the exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. After all we've been through together, oh gods. Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alize had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly. So I tried casting the simple restorative spell I had only just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed. The joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer, I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphinaud, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it, which would explain how I came to swim like an auk, and he sink like a stone.
My friends and I gather here from time to time to discuss what we've been reading recently. It's truly helped us broaden our intellectual horizons.
My mother told me never to talk to strangers, so I'm ignoring you, see? This is me paying you no mind at all.
Right. If you say so. There's a crystal down here.
At this rate, these flowers will wilt before the customers arrived.
Okay, we've already discovered this one, so let's go back up. Let's go back up ahead and climb the hill. The real estate visitor. Yes. Emelians.
And here you are at last. Please, do come in.
Oh man, that's a lot of waiters. What?
Welcome home, my lady.
Oh, jeez. Or stewards, not waiters. Sorry, not the right terminology.
What? What are you gawping at?
What are you gulping at? A gulp. House Leveilleur in all of its grandeur. Squalid. Oh, I gotta remember that word. I'd say just admiring the craftsmanship.
Oh, I suppose I never gave the decor much thought. I'm glad that you approve, I think.
Lord Fourcheneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
As you wish, my lady. Stewards.
Master Alphinaud, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
What, are they gonna change clothes? Is this what's happening right now?
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. It is plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
The wink.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Okay. Well then. Da, 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 da. All right. That was lovely. Quite the cutscene there.
Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. From now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us, these gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions.
All right. The Baldesian Annex. Let us go. To the Baldesian. Yes. Oh, hello. Hello. I like your outfit, ma'am. It's pretty nice. He's a white mage. Okay. Level 91. What does that look like? This turban, but I don't see no turban. So she's just... This person is leveling in Dawn Trail, apparently. Dawn Trail. Yes. This one's a Dragoon. Level 90. Cool, cool, cool. I like the posters on the wall. There's a Moogle King. The Allag Tower from I don't know where yet. Maybe some of these posters are meant to indicate places we're going to be discovering. Not sure. Look, it's Garuda.
Enjoyed your time with the Leverriers, I hope. I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once we've heard your report from Thavnair, we'll be well equipped to plot out the next move.
In the dark of the tower, Kryl glances at you with expectant eyes.
Since there has been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our respective locales?
Your time in Thavnair has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnair.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Ifrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope. And I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostola, and myself. The remaining Scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosodora by a considerable margin. If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding a sage's armament to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Radzithan of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging hold.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Lego. Boom, 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 boom. Ba da da da. All right. Ribbit, ribbit. Hey, Jay. How you doing? Nice to see ya. Da, da. Speak with Nabdeen at the Hamsa hatchery. Gotcha. Sleepy today, and you're about to do maps. What does that mean? Like the maps, the ones where they lead you into that thing, like in back in Stormblood. I forgot. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Deer, 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 deer. Treasure maps. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Appreciate it. How's Endwalker going for me so far? So far, so good. We just got out of Charlayan. We started off our journey with Thavnair, actually. Then we approached Charlayan, and now we're headed back for Thavnair here for the tower. So that's where we're at. Progress-wise. Almost, yeah, not too far from level 82 at this point in time. Bum 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Oof. Coffee. I already had coffee. That was water. I've had my coffee already a while ago. Actually had two today, but I don't want to overdo it. Mainly because of my ongoing nose issue that I have. I have a breathing. I've had a breathing issue for the last 2 years. And it's involving sinusitis. I've had chronic sinusitis for the last few years, ever since I got really sick in December of 2021. I've had basically one side of my nose is perpetually congested. So I'm actually going to be going, on that note, I'm going to be seeing an ear, nose, and throat doctor next week. Again, a different one. This one hopefully will be more effective because TLDR, one side of my nose is congested constantly, and it's actually impacted my sleep quality. Like, I constantly wake up in the morning with a dry mouth, and I kind of have mild head pressure, just anxiety dreams from not being able to breathe correctly. So I'm looking forward to hopefully finally resolving this nose issue that I've had. Basically, what I suspect is I have nasal polyps, which are essentially skin growths or cysts that are sort of hidden in between the sinuses, the sinus walls, I guess. And I mean, if I pull my skin or my nostrils sideways, I can actually breathe better. But it constantly feels like there's some mucus inside, but it's not actually mucus. It just kind of like sticks inwards. Like I can feel it. If I push with my finger, I can kind of feel that thing, which bothers me. And the first doctor said that he just kind of like went by with, you know, putting up a little tiny lamp in my nose and kind of quickly looking in and out, and then calling it a deviated septum, which, I'm sorry, but you can't suddenly develop a deviated, unless you had a major injury, which I haven't. I don't do any boxing or wrestling or anything like any extreme sport, but yeah, sure. I guess most people could have a slightly deviated septum, but it wouldn't affect my breathing to the point where I would suddenly start having a harder time breathing within the last 2 years. Like, that's not how that works. So anyway, I'm hoping that I'll get a better analysis with maybe some, maybe a camera probe being shoved to look in there. Maybe do an MRI. I don't know. But it all started when I was really stressed in 2021, and the tip of my nose started pinching really hard, and then out of nowhere, clear mucus was coming out from one side, and then after that point, that's where the breathing had started to be massively restricted from that side. But I got sick immediately after that occurrence for 3 weeks, really bad sinusitis, and I'm always lately very mindful in the amount of coffee that I drink